I hope that was vodka.
No. Can't do vodka. Vodka makes you throw up. Ever since my girlfriend back in college was like, hey, I got this 100 proof stuff. Let's try this. And then a few hours later, I'm in the shower naked, or no, in the shower with my clothes on, singing for no reason, and then passing out.
Sounds like you had a very good reason.
Sounds hot.
Yeah, so just the smell of vodka makes me sick.
To this day, wow.
Yeah, it's a conditioned response.
In Japan, I had a similar thing with tequila. That was all I had all the time. And then one day I just got sick and I couldn't stomach it, but I'm okay with it now.
Yeah. No, it's still for me. I can't. I mean, if it's mixed in like with a ton of like a jungle juice type thing or something, then okay, I can handle it. As long as it's not the prominent flavor in there, then I'm okay. But it's so bad.
Dang.
Just,
maybe you just need good vodka.
I don't even care if that exists.
Fair enough.
Everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of Rather Be Playing, the podcast where we talk about how we'd rather be playing games than
sobbing on a 15-hour flight.
I don't even know where to go with that, but I'm sure you'll tell me. So I'm Josh.
I think you do. I'm Elliot.
And I'm Stevo.
So Elliot, what?
If you guys remember, you picked on the last roulette, which was 2 episodes ago. Because last episode was Blast from the Past.
Now that we're back in real time and can talk about the past and future normally.
Yeah, back in real time and trying to close the space-time continuum that we destroyed in the last episode. I played To the Moon on my flight to and from Japan, and it was sad.
I seem to remember
you played it on a flight?
predicting the sobbing, actually. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, you guys both did, but when you are told that, it's kind of hyped up, and you're like, how bad could it be? I didn't even cry during Titanic. I've got heartstrings of steel. And no, it was, in all seriousness, I didn't actually cry, but it was a very, very touching story, and glad I got it.
And yeah, I don't remember crying myself during the game, but it was still definitely very heartfelt, and I was just really drawn into the story, and I was really happy that I got to play it, because it was, I mean, even though it's so short, it's such a goddamn good story.
Yeah, it was really interesting how it was told. I didn't expect that's how it was gonna. I guess I knew it was a sad story, and I just thought it was a sad story and someone was trying to go to the moon, but I didn't know if that was like a metaphor for something or just, shoot for the stars or whatever. But it was much more a literal sense. And
so the premise of this game is you play as these 2 separate scientists that come in to help people that are dying. And they basically delve into their memories to help them kind of but achieve their like dying wish before they actually pass. We're not actually achieving it, but making them think they did through like their dreams or like
memories.
Yeah. And it just kind of snowballs from there as they start learning more and more about the person they're dealing with. And it's just, there's a lot of different
touching story. It's, the character who you're trying to help out is a little old man, and there just doesn't seem much to him. And then as you play through the game, you're basically reliving his memories and trying to piece. It's all pretty straightforward stuff as well. It's basically on an isometric kind of view, or how would you describe it? Top down, almost.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an old 16-bit RPG.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. And it was made in RPG Maker, the game making software, and that's what impressed me the most about it. Was just someone sat down and opened this program, and what they did with it.
Yeah,
how good of a game you can make when you've just got a really good story and compelling characters.
Well, yeah, because he had to go through and make all the different assets and things like that, because the standard default RPG Maker stuff does not have any of that.
And it was just one man who did it. How long did he take to do, you know?
I don't know how many. I know he was the one who did the music and most of the original programming. The one I played was the iOS one on my iPad, and obviously the credits scroll was a lot longer than one guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much was contributed to the original product and how much has changed since then, moving on to other platforms. But
as you say, it's amazing that like anybody who had an interest could sit down and build something as beautiful and just a piece of art like this, if they were willing to take the time and put in the effort that this one guy clearly did. We keep calling him this one guy, Elliot. What was his name?
One guy.
A Canadian. His name's Kan Gao.
Yeah.
That's what a feat. I don't know. So Josh, you said you can't remember. Was that it? You can't remember whether you cried or not?
I didn't.
I played this on a Sunday afternoon, and I must have been kind of hungover. And man, I was in bits. This just tore my heart out. It really did. So I guess you don't want to spoil too much and whatever, but one of the threads in the story is that his wife has an illness, and that's going to get progressively worse. And I guess it could speak to anyone who has had a family member who has suffered, particularly from mental disease like Alzheimer's or something, where you know there's really maybe no cure for it, and that it is going to be hard, but you love this person so much that you're willing to do anything for them anyway. And it was just a really beautiful, like, touching story.
It's a bit of a difference from Firewatch, where the guy's wife had a similar illness type thing, but he tries to escape rather than, I mean, in To the Moon, he's just kind of dealing with it. It's not really escaping, but he knows that it's just the futility of trying to make life normal.
Yeah, it is quite a contrast, though, to that game that we chatted about the last 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, but I honestly, one of my favorite parts of the game was it wasn't even like a heartfelt moment. It was when you're walking through the woods early on in the game, and like a squirrel attacks you, and all of a sudden it like jumps into like an RPG battle system, and then just goes, "What are you doing? No, we're not doing that. So stop. No, there's no fighting in this game."
That's not the kind of game this is.
I thought that was kind of funny. So the Kan Gao's he's definitely got a good sense of humor, in addition to being able to tell some stories.
Yeah. There's a lot of good tongue-in-cheek jokes at the genre in general. There was one where the view slightly cut off some object, and they're like, "Man, I'm really glad I could see the whole thing from my perspective. Anyone looking slightly above and out wouldn't be able to see the whole thing." And
some nice fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, the guy's definitely a witty dude.
At some point, Ellie, you're gonna have to go play a bird story. It's good. I wouldn't put it at the same level as To the Moon, but it's I think it's even shorter, but it's still a neat little story, I think.
What's it called? I haven't even heard of this.
It's called A Bird Story. It's the second game that this guy's made.
Oh.
He's got a third one. I don't know if I think it's out. It's called Finding Paradise, which actually no, I don't think it is out, but it's I haven't really heard much about that one, honestly.
Yeah.
But I am kind of looking forward to seeing what happens.
So you played A Bird Story as well, Josh?
Yeah, I did.
I might have to pick it up at some point. Yeah, obviously, To the Moon felt like a bit of a one-off experience. It's not going to have the same effect on you playing it at the same time around. I can imagine I will go back and play it at some point, but I'll definitely have to check out A Bird Story at some point.
It's definitely a different theme. It's really more a story about a boy who just doesn't really fit in, rather than the whole love and memory type thing that you deal with To the Moon. But it's still good. It's definitely a little different, but I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I was blown away as well by the music in To the Moon. That kind of melancholy, sorrowful.
Yeah,
just and such simple music. Again, as you say, it's all 16-bit stuff, or harkens back to the 16-bit era. But it just pairs so well with it. It's music has such an effect on those emotional moments, whether it's in games or if it's in TV or movies. It's just beautifully made.
Yeah, you take the music out of any scene and you're not really sure what you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like it tells you, it gives you all the cues, and the music was a huge part of the emotional impact, if not almost all of it in that game. It was
Well, like if I'm watching a movie and a dog dies, I'm in tears. But if the right song is playing at the same time, I might as well just
Benny
go to
Hill.
He's not, the Benny Hill thing. If it's just some emotionally impacting music, I might as well just go to bed and hug my pillow for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. No, agreed completely. But I can't believe it took me that long to play it. I've had it in my Steam library forever, and it took being stuck 30,000 feet in the air with an iPad.
Thankfully, you had that trip.
Open it up.
Hopefully, it wasn't entirely sorrowful.
Amy wasn't too worried about you on the flight, though. It's okay. No. It's okay, Elliot. Japan's gonna be fine.
I would be more concerned about the other people around me, because we didn't take the same flight, so I was on that all by myself.
Yeah.
No, she was going in from a different conference that she had in San Diego over, and then I went here straight from the New York area, and
I thought you guys had a fight.
No, you know what? We're pissed at each other, and we're gonna settle it by taking different 15-hour flights. That'll show us. Yeah. That would be an interesting way of not resolving anything, but. No, it was amazing. I tweeted a bunch of stuff and about the trip. I did some Instagrams as well. If any,
you were gramming? Oh my god, Elliot, you were gramming? You grammed?
I was Insta. I was doing some Insta. It was just, I think I've mentioned I used to live in Japan on this probably first or second episode.
Yeah.
I was there for a year and a half, and this is my first time back. It's been 10 years, and it was like going back to like an old childhood home kind of thing.
Yeah.
So where did you go? What did you see?
We went to Sapporo, which was a city I'd never been to on an island I'd never been to. So that was awesome. Just doing something new, doing something different, because the rest of the trip was kind of rehashing other stuff that we'd done before that we really liked.
Yeah.
But Sapporo it's a small town. It's where the beer comes from. I'm sure you've had some.
Of course.
And we did the beer tour there, and there's not a whole lot in terms of touristy stuff to do, but it was much cooler. It's the northernmost island.
Is it a lot more relaxed than Tokyo? I haven't been to either.
Yeah. Much more relaxed, slower paced, less crowded. But then of course we had to go to Tokyo again, and we went to Kyoto again, and man, the food, that's what I miss the most. Yeah. It was really cool.
What kind of thing would I have to try if I go?
Okonomiyaki is my go-to.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to describe. It's kind of like a cross between a pizza and a pancake.
Oh, yeah.
But it's good stuff. Lots of beers, lots of drinks, lots of sake, lots of Japanese whiskey, lots of all around good time. Yeah, I can't complain. One of the new stuff we did was I also Instagrammed walking in front of the Nintendo headquarters.
Yeah, we saw that one.
Which was really fun. Our hotel was about a mile from it in Kyoto, and I was like, we have to. We're right here. So we took the walk, and
Amy the entire time going, oh, god damn it.
Did you stop in?
That. Yeah.
Did you stop in to visit, say hello to Miyamoto? Or?
How's shaking?
I wanted to. I did. I didn't feel like I could or should. It wasn't like an amusement park.
You should have gone in and asked him about Super Nintendo Classic pre-orders.
When's it coming
in North America? That's what I would have been straight there for.
Maybe Josh could do that in Seattle next to Redmond over there.
Yeah, I'll see if I'll drop in and see what's going on.
Do it.
Yeah.
I want my Super Nintendo.
But yeah, no, it was just really cool going back. It was really cool. We saw some old friends who used to live there, or who we knew when we used to live there. One of them, so we didn't get to stop at the town we used to live in, which is Nagoya. We went right past it from Tokyo to Kyoto, which is pretty much equidistant. Nagoya is right in the middle. one of our friends now lives in Kyoto, so we went out for drinks with him. And then one of our like local Japanese friends who still lived in Nagoya took the bullet train after work all the way down, had a few drinks, and then took the last one back up to Nagoya. It's like, this guy's such a legend. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Good lad.
I couldn't believe it. But it was such a good time. So I did that, and then I got back on the plane and finished To the Moon, and that was where the rest of the sobbing continued. But I stopped by the Osaka airport. I left out of Osaka, and they had the Nintendo check-in booth set up there, which was it was fun. Yeah, like they had a Switch set up with ARMS. Oh, okay. ARMS demo station. So I played a bit of that. There was no one there to play with me because it was only set up on 2-player mode. So yeah, I was just punching a lifeless body.
And then punching Amy?
Amy had a different flight in a different terminal. So
you flew the same.
Are you sure you went to Japan with her? Were you like following her from a distance at all times?
There she goes. I should catch up. No, and so I was playing by myself until the woman running the check-in booth came over, and she's like, "It's 2 players. Like, let me play with you." I was like, "Oh yeah!" So I got to play with it.
So then she beat you down, basically. Were you any good at it?
I can't remember who won, but I was not nearly as good as she was.
Is it
like I had taken the life down pretty much to 3/4, and then she picked up the controller, and I can't remember who won. It was really close, so I was not doing as well as I should.
Translation: Elliot lost.
Probably.
Would you consider picking it up at all?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to get Splatoon 2 first because that's more of a priority, and that'll take up a lot of my multiplayer time on top of Mario Kart, which I already have, and Rocket League, which I can't stop playing anyway. So I don't know if there's how much space there is for something like ARMS, but I'm intrigued by it. I'm just not
a big fan of 1v1 multiplayer games.
Yeah, I'm the same.
4-on-4. Actually, ultimately.
Oh, is it?
You can do 4 play, yeah.
Oh, okay.
ARMS is 4-on-4 or 2-on-2, you mean?
It might also be 2-on-2, but I think you can do like 4-on-4. Like you just all bash each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that seems a little more interesting, but
maybe I'll take it.
No.
When it's 1-on-1, you expect it's just going to be like, I don't know, like Wii boxing or something. Whoever just wiggles the thing fastest wins every time. But
so Conan O'Brien did a Clueless Gamer with ARMS this past week.
I actually watched
2 weeks ago.
I didn't see it.
It was with Will Arnett. It was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. They did another one with Cuphead later that wasn't nearly as funny, but the ARMS one was hilarious.
Cuphead was Kate Upton.
Yeah, Kate Upton. It was mostly just awkward, creepy, which I know that was the joke, but it was just kind of a miss. Of
course. Yeah. Highbrow humor there.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, I wish I could rent ARMS for a weekend and see if I would really keep playing, you know. It's fun from what I've played. I'm not convinced it would hold my attention, especially with Splatoon coming out here, and like it might even be out by the time this airs.
I definitely need to find out more about ARMS because as it is right now, it's not all that interesting to me. So we'll see. But if the more than 1v1 multiplayer modes turn out to be a lot of fun, then maybe I'll at least give it a shot. I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll find a sale, but it's a Nintendo game, so we'll see.
So tough luck. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, pretty much. But cool. I mean, so any other interesting stuff happen in Japan?
No, nothing at all.
Well, we should go to the other.
Nothing interesting. One cool thing was in Shibuya we went to the whiskey library, which was fucking amazing.
Whiskey library.
Yeah, just the name of it is so cool. The Tokyo Whiskey Library.
Did you make it Suntory time? For relaxing time, make it Suntory time.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh, nobody's seen. Oh, never mind. Lost in Translation.
Was that Lost in Translation?
It's a great movie.
Haven't watched
that. Is that Lost in Translation?
One of my favorite movies.
No, I thought you were making a pun, so I was like trying to listen for it. But.
I don't make puns, Elliot.
No, we did have like Yamazaki.
That's good.
12 year was 17 year too was good. It was like reasonably priced excellent whiskey, and we just tried a whole bunch of them. It was a great time.
Oh, that sounds
Great
good.
That's cool.
atmosphere there. Yeah.
Did you do any other touristy stuff that would be worth hitting?
We saw a lot of shrines. We saw
Shrines.
shrine.
Yeah. What are shrines? Just big, like almost like big churches or something?
Well, he went to 4 of them and then got a new heart container.
That's what I was picturing. Shrine is really one of those words that I've only heard in games, but then, as I say, I haven't been over to Asia.
No, they're usually like plots of land that also they have a building where it's you pray to some god or
think like a miniature temple.
Yeah, like they specify something like one of them is like.
Oh wait, Stevo, you played Persona 4.
Yeah, Persona 4.
Yeah.
They
have them there. Yeah, they're like that.
The shrine where the fox is.
Yeah, and so there was one that we went to that has the. If you heard of the Keanu Reeves movie, The 47 Ronin. Yeah. So there's one where they're all buried.
Oh, okay.
And we checked that out in Tokyo, and it was pretty fucking cool. Pretty much the thing to do there for like touristy stuff and historical stuff is shrines and castles.
Yep.
The heartbreaking part is a lot of them are rebuilt because a lot of them were destroyed during various battles, during various wars.
Wow.
But there are some that are still original and still standing. Like the town I lived in when I first got to Japan is Inoyama, and they have one of the oldest completely original castles in the country, and it's really cool to see it. You can go to a more like a bigger city like Osaka or Tokyo, and those castles have air conditioning and have been totally renovated. So like they look cool from the outside. You can see kind of how they're supposed to be, but it's not the same as seeing like a totally original 800-year-old building.
Yeah.
I mean, so that sounds great and all. Like, it sounds really interesting. But Stevo went to Chicago.
Stevo did.
Look at you two just showing off. We're going to Japan. Oh, we're going to Korea. Hey, not all of us can afford $1,000 worth of flights over to Japan.
You probably could if you hadn't dropped $500 on a Switch.
True. But totally worth it. Chicago was awesome. Great place to go for 4th of July, and I have loads of friends there. DC is an interesting place in that way that lots of people move here and then move to other places, as you both would know. Yep. So I have lots of friends who actually moved out to the Midwest, who lots of them in Chicago. So caught up with like 3 of my friends off my old football team and their significant others. Just awesome, great people. Went to a couple of breweries. Went to a cidery. Went to
a cidery.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was called the Northwestern, I think, or the Northerner, maybe. It's in like North Center in Chicago.
I mean, Northwestern would make sense since the college is near there.
No, that's what I'm getting them mixed up with, actually, now that you mention it. It's called the Northerner, I think.
Gotcha.
Just great food, great cider. Really, it was a beautiful evening the day that we were there, like nice and sunny, but not too ridiculous hot or humid, which it can get in Chicago. Yeah. But just a really great time catching up with a load of people that I hadn't seen in a while. And my girlfriend is from Naperville, which is like a suburb of Chicago. So meeting all of her friends who moved basically.
Did you meet the parents?
Her parents aren't there anymore. Actually, they're in New Jersey now. That's one of the reasons she lives out here on the East Coast. But no, it was really cool catching up with loads of her college friends and a couple of different 4th of July parties. A friend of mine had a barbecue in the afternoon, and that was cool hanging out with him and his kid and all their family and stuff, and then catching up with Nisha's friends later on that evening. And one of her friends has an apartment downtown, and you basically get a 360-degree view of all of the fireworks going off in all different parts of the city. So
it's an apartment that takes up the whole floor?
So she has a rooftop.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So we were out in her rooftop, and she was able to just it was just us, and so about 10 or 20 of their friends, and just a really, really nice time, really fun time. And obviously the skyline in cities in America will constantly blow me away. You know, obviously being from Ireland, it is just like nothing I would ever see in Ireland or the UK. But as well, DC doesn't have one. So although DC is a beautiful city and a really charming city, and it's so new and it's got so many things to do, it doesn't have a skyline. So for me, it's like, is that a real city? Is it a real city that when you drive into it, it doesn't just like rise up in front of you and take your breath away in the same way as like Chicago really, really does. It was something.
Did you have any of the exotic cuisine of Chicago?
I did. I had deep dish pizza, and I had hot dogs.
Where'd you go for it? You got to get a Chicago dog.
We gotta get a hot dog.
This time
you've
around,
been to Chicago multiple times.
Yeah, and every other time we've gone to Lou Malnati's. But
yes, that's my go-to.
It's pretty good. My friend Darren and his wife absolutely swear by it. But this time out, we went to a different one.
Gino's or something, or
it wasn't. It wasn't Giordano's. It was
Gino.
Nope. That's like hot dog place in Philly or something. No, that's a
no.
cheesesteak pizza.
No. Gino's East is the semi-famous one in Chicago, isn't it?
Definitely wasn't that.
I'm not
sure. It's the only one
I-
I've been to because I've only been to Chicago once.
I remember now. It was called Pequod's, and it was.
Is this why you were talking about Moby Dick earlier? Because of the Pequod?
No, it's not. Again, I have not read Moby Dick. Yep.
Don't.
Apparently, you have to. It's a classic.
No, you. Yeah.
You do.
No, you don't have to. It's terrible.
Yeah. So Chicago was an awesome time, and luckily, having traveled a little bit and taken a bit of time out, I still managed to beat my Backlog Roulette game. Which,
there you go.
Yeah, well, that was really thanks to Josh, in fairness. He did give me one, which was shorter than some of the games that we've played so far.
So how was it?
It was really good. So I played Bastion, which Josh had picked for me in the Backlog Roulette. It's a really nice, bright, charming little game. It's I think it's by Supergiant Games. I think the writer is actually a former GameSpot writer, Greg Kazavin.
I didn't know he was behind Bastion.
Yeah. He left. He was writer and director on it, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game. It's kind of a twin stick shooter, but it's not a shooter. It's a action game, I suppose. Not really so much action RPG. There's a little bit of selecting different gun and melee weapon combinations, but it's traps and bombs and stuff. But it's nothing too complicated, and it's very beautiful, bright graphics, kind of cutesy character models, but the story is a little bit more grown up than the kind of setting would lead you to believe. It's basically about an apocalypse has happened, and you're trying to piece together the Bastion, which was the place that everyone was meant to go to if anything bad ever happened. Right. And while trying to get it up and running, you're also trying to work out, well, why didn't things go as they should have, and what caused the catastrophe in the first place. And there's a couple of plot twists here and there, but it's all told by a character that you meet, and he has this amazing gruff voice, and
his name's Rux, the
narrator,
and he basically comments on every single thing that you do. So if you happen to roll off the edge of the screen, he makes a joke about you fell to your death. I'm only joking. And then you plop back on the board and start going again. And it's just a really interesting direction for a game. It's very different to anything I've played. And the combat's pretty fun. It's a little bit like a Diablo or something, but
kinda,
in terms of its kind of hack and slash.
There was a good variety to the weapons you use. I think I mostly used like the dagger and the bow, but it was a good variety of stuff.
I was a fan of the hammer and the what was the gun? The kind of buckshot one.
Shotgun, pistol. There was like a revolver or something too that like.
But lots of, and it has a few different varieties. There's a regular level where you're trying to fight your way from one side of it to the end, and there's bosses pop up. But there's also more bonus round kind of ones that you can access when you meet certain characters. Objects will appear in the Bastion that you can go and if you interact with them, it'll drop you into kind of a horde mode that you have to survive a certain amount of waves, which kind of leads me to the trophies in it. Again, I don't know what switch has flipped in my head, but I'm a little more interested in a game if there's a decent platinum or a decent trophy structure to it. So I actually am considering going back in and getting the platinum in Bastion. I finished out the story, and I think you can pretty easily pick up the platinum on the PS4 by replaying it a second time through and just running through the bonus rounds. Basically with the highest difficulty ratcheted up.
I enjoyed it a lot, but I don't know how. I mean, I didn't enjoy it enough to go back through and try and get all the trophies or anything, but it was definitely fun to play.
My thinking is that it would be less time again to play it through and get the platinum than having played the story originally. You know, I figure playing through the story levels will be really quick now, and then you would only have to do each of the bonus rounds. And I think there's 4 of them. What are they called? Like nowhere places or
something like that. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and you could basically just play those through once each at the highest with all.
Who knows where? I think is what it's called.
Who knows where? That's right. To get the platinum. So I don't know. I guess it depends what else I get in my backlog roulette today, and whether I'll have time to hop back in there and do it or not. But I'd highly recommend it. It's only a couple of hours to play through the story. So if it's in your backlog, consider knocking it off. You know, you might enjoy it. What about you, Josh? What have you been up to since?
Went on
I've been busy. So
yeah, I Instagrammed a little bit a particular thing that you shared, Josh, but I'll let you tell the story.
Wait, which thing did I share? I forget.
You sent us a picture on the Slack while you were in Korea, and I Instagrammed that one picture.
I honestly forgot what it was.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
Just tell your story.
Anyway. So
Good God, man.
My memory is terrible. Leave me alone. So
okay, go on.
My brother.
I don't think it's so much your memory as your comprehension in general, Josh.
Yeah, you're not reading me right.
I'm exhausted. Leave me alone for some reason.
Just get to the.
So my brother's stationed over in Korea right now, and I know I mentioned in the first episode, like Elliot did. I used to live in South Korea for 4 years back during high school, and so my wife had never been, and I thought it'd be fun to take her around since 1, my brother's there, and 2, just because we had some spare time and some leave saved up. Excellent. So we took her over, got on the flight, and landed in the hot, humid, wet country of South Korea, which. I don't miss that part of it.
Is it just the time of year, or is it year round?
It's the time of year. The summers are miserable temperature wise. I was just sweating the entire time.
You didn't seem to factor this into when you're going out there, or
well, I kind of knew that. I knew it was going to be hot and humid, but we were supposed to have missed the rainy season, but we got there and it rained like half the time we were there, which was not expected.
It was the same in Japan. I just left all that out of my story. But yes, it was the most miserably hot I've been since I lived there.
Because I'm not a whiny little bitch like someone.
No. Elliot is. I knew he would chime in. But yeah, weather was terrible. But other than that, my brother's stationed down in Pyeongtaek. And so we stayed with him. And that's a little bit south of Seoul because they're moving a bunch of the army bases from Seoul down south a little more. So he had to work most of the days, but some days the first day we went up to Seoul, took the train up and just kind of wandered around. I took the wife to all the various markets that I'd gone to when I was there, like the clothing market, Namdaemun, the electronics market where I used to go buy all my games and stuff back in Seoul. Itaewon, which is like the expat market right outside the base, which is. So I haven't been there since 2004. It has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
Itaewon in particular has definitely like, they actually have nice restaurants and stuff that you can go to. Whereas like there was a side road in Itaewon that I would never have gone down when I lived there. Like we would just stay away from that. But now you walk down it and it's like got nice brick streets almost. And there's just good restaurants. It's definitely been built up and there's like clubs and things like that around that area. So they've definitely changed a lot in that area, in that time.
Awesome. Tell us one thing that hasn't changed that you were glad that you went back and saw it and it was like, yes, exactly how I remembered.
Oh man, what is though the markets didn't really other than that, the other markets didn't really change that much. You still have like these outdoor markets just in all these alleys and just millions of stalls of people just hawking their wares and they're yelling at you because they want you to buy their stuff. Unfortunately, haggling has seemed to have gone down. Like they don't haggle as much anymore. So it's pretty much what you see is what you pay for. Yeah. Here and there, kind of, but not as much.
Did you or Lily buy anything ridiculous?
No, not really. Honestly,
no stupid little trinkets that you came back on. What is this even?
Lily bought a bunch of keychains to give to her coworkers. I bought a keychain for my friend's daughter back here in Seattle.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really too out of the ordinary. It's, I don't know. I took her to a lot of like so Tongdaemun, for instance, is another market, and they've got like this giant building for clothes.
Yep.
And you can just walk down these aisles and there's just countless stalls. And so it's basically like a giant storage facility that has been outfitted so that each like storage unit is like a store. And you can buy pretty much any type of clothing you want there. And Lily was like, yeah, well, we got some small things here and there, but nothing like insane or
Is it good value? Is it a lot cheaper than the West? Is it a lot cheaper than buying in the US?
So you'll get a lot for your bang for your buck. Now there's some situations where like you'll be like, oh, a Louis Vuitton bag for $10. Yeah, that's not Louis Vuitton. It says Louis Vuitton, but it's not Louis Vuitton. I had like a T-shirt that said Abercrombie and Fitch, back in college. Or there's also like an American and Fitch one you can get. So in a lot of places, if you see something you like, you can just ask them to put the brand you want on there. So but yeah, it's a great country. I love it. I love the food. I had so much food. Most of our spending was on travel and food. Yeah. Oh, I finally took the bullet train because that's still relatively new. I took the bullet train down to Busan now. We went down and saw some shrines and the beach while we were down there, and then came back up the same day. And that thing's fast. I was honestly surprised, like 2 hours to get down there when normally like a bus ride takes you like 6.
How far is it?
So I don't know the actual distance, but Busan is like on the southeastern tip of the country.
Yeah,
and Seoul is high up in the north. I mean, we were in Pyeongtaek, which was like a little bit further south of Seoul, but it should have taken like 5 hours by bus, but it took us 2 by the bullet train. So it was nice. But yeah, it was good. I definitely ate entirely too much food that I missed. Like Elliot, we did a bunch of shrines, temples, and the big gates they had that they used to have around the Seoul as it was originally, which just happened to be in the same place as those markets. So, it was a lot of fun. I was glad to see my brother. July 4th got rained out from the military base, so we didn't get to see any fireworks or anything.
Oh, that's great.
But it was good. I enjoyed it.
Did you buy any import games?
I did not. So half the time was when we were at the electronics market was spent with me trying to remember this specific place I used to go to buy my games, and it's not the space where it was exists, but not the actual store. And my little brother's behind me the whole time going, "I think you're making this up." Like, no, it was here. This is where I would go all the time.
He doesn't remember either.
He was too young. He was a lot younger, and he's got. I mean. When he came back with my family a few years later after I left, he had his own places that he went to. So it was just different. Sure. So, but yeah, it was good. And then we were there for a week and we came home and then I had to play Assassin's Creed. So yeah, that was the nice little
wah wah.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Sad
you get absolutely no sympathy from anyone on this podcast or any listeners.
I know. I had to try it. I had to give it a shot. So I've played 3.
No, you didn't. You could have picked a good game instead.
No, because then it's just sitting in the back of my mind this whole time going, man, I gotta try it at some point. Let me just try it. And so I've done 3 of the memories out of the game, which I guess there's like 7 memories or something like that. I feel like I've played the entire game already. It's very repetitive.
Did you listen to enough conversations yet? Did you?
I honestly haven't done many of the eavesdrop ones. I've done like maybe 3 of those. What I've done mostly is saved fucking villagers.
Yeah.
And I've done like 30 of those. So I'm not like going out of my way.
Are the villagers fucking while you save them?
Yes, they're fucking villagers.
Fucking villagers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I've been mainly following the main story, and I do enough side quests to like, you know, raise my HP here and there. But they're just tiny short things like kill these guys or go kill this one guy or race to this area. Very Ubisoft, do this side thing that really has no bearing on anything. And you really only have to, from what I can tell, is when you start a mission, you need to climb to a tower, activate the tower so you can look around, and then do one of the side quests so that you get intel, and then go do the main mission. I think that's all you have to do each time.
Yeah.
Over and over and over.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm playing the groundwork for a decent game. Like there's some good concepts. It's like with the basic story and like how I feel like I should be able to do stuff like traversing or, you know, assassinating, things like that. I feel like those are all good things that could come together if they actually put any fucking thought into how you did it in this game. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know who the hell designed the controls for this game, but they need to be shot. Yeah, I don't know.
They're so bad.
So I'm playing on PC, and the way it's set up is you've got like, I can't remember what they call them, if like non-hostile and hostile controls, if you will. So like the non-hostile ones are like, you know, blending in or pickpocketing or looking around, things like that, or gently pushing people, shoving people aside to walk through things. While the hostile ones are things like, you know, attack or jump or sprint. But like, I don't get it, because so right click on is the default button for that, but it's not a toggle. Why is it not a fucking toggle? I have to hold down right click the entire damn game, except for the moments when I'm stalking someone, in which case I can say, okay, I can finally take it off, until I have to assassinate him when I got to hold down right click again to use that damn button.
Again,
why is it not a toggle?
Self-inflicted wounds. Why are you using a mouse and keyboard to play
it's not
console
the fact,
game?
No, it's not the fact that it's that specific button. It's the fact that it's not a toggle.
It's probably a lot easier to hold down a trigger button in fairness than it would be.
I'm not doing anything else with my right hand. I'm just putting that on. I'm just using the holding down right click. So it's the same thing as like on a controller. If I'm holding down, I don't know, like right trigger or right bumper the entire time, it's the same thing.
It makes a difference.
I don't think
it definitely makes a difference. There's loads of games where you're constantly holding down a controller button. There's not many games where you're constantly holding down a right click button. That's just two totally different things. You should be playing it with a controller.
That's not the problem. The problem, I'm fine with holding down a button every now and again. Like when I play Mario, I'm holding down B or Y the entire time while I'm running and stuff.
Not the entire time.
Most of the time.
You know, it's just when you're running and it goes on and off frequently.
I know.
But
this is just dumb. Why it's this whole, like this entire set of actions is one, it's not like say Dragon Age, you know, if you played that on console, you would have this whole subset of actions behind like L1 and L2 or whatever, you know, but that's just like selecting, and you hold down L1, select the spell you want to cast and let go. Whereas in this case, I'm holding down this button the entire goddamn time I want to sprint, because I got to hold down right click, hold down space bar to sprint, and then hold forward and turn with my other hand. So it makes no goddamn sense how they did that. And it's really stupid. I don't get it. Also on that note, why the hell... I don't understand the AI and how stealth is supposed to work in this game, because I can assassinate someone like 10 feet from a guard and nothing happens, or I can climb a tower right in front of another guard and he's like, hey, you got to get down from there, but nothing ever like triggers and says, oh, hey, you've been spotted. Yeah. But if I'm in the middle of the goddamn field and I'm sprinting with my horse, all of a sudden they're like, shit, get him a speeding ticket, get him. You know, and I'm like, it makes no fucking sense why that is like a thing. And the only way to pass a guards on your horse is to go into blend mode, which means you have to spend 30 seconds walking the slowest possible gait past these guards in order for them to not spot you. Even like the second highest, which is just holding down forward, triggers them. And then the next one, holding down right click and holding forward triggers them. Or you go full on. So I just, when I'm in the overworld, I just hold down sprint and just run past everybody because it doesn't fucking matter. Just make it to the end of the zone and you zone out and all of a sudden they forget you're there. So it's
doesn't
very
sound
repetitive.
particularly fun.
It's like, again, like I said, there are some interesting concepts there, like that about a game about revolving around assassinating guys, which I think did work well in games like Thief, although technically you don't necessarily have to assassinate people in that game, so you no kill. But it's just they were implemented very poorly in this game. I feel like I could probably finish it just because it's so mind-numbingly dull that combat's not a challenge. You just
that's a bad reason to finish it.
I finished the order, remember? I did finish the order. But
why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. But so like combat is easy. You just attack in like it's almost like a rhythm. Whenever you hear the sword clink, keep attacking and then deflect when someone else comes over behind you, and then just keep doing that over and over until everybody's dead. But yeah, it's.
I actually played a little bit of this on PC as well. I played it with a controller.
Yeah,
I did as well.
So I didn't notice the issue that you were talking about so much. What I did notice was that every time I would find it hard to play more than an hour at a time because it's just so bland and it's so boring. And that's just personal taste. I don't know. Maybe other people find it more interesting. But when I would go back to it and try to play it a second time, I would maybe play the first mission, leave it alone for a few days or a week or a couple of weeks or whatever, trying to go back to it and remember what the buttons were that did what, that they taught you only in the tutorial. I just couldn't do it. So I would trigger things when I was trying to do other things, and I was just like, if this is not intuitive enough control-wise for me to remember between play sessions what the thing does, then it's just badly made. It frustrated me too much.
And they've done other dumb things where like the sprint button is also the button you use to climb shit. And so I'll be sprinting away. Like I'd say I just assassinated someone and you got to do the escape back to the headquarters. I'll be sprinting and I might clip a wall. Like I'm not running.
Accidentally and all of a sudden, climbing it.
Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm fucking climbing. And I'm like, shit. And then I got to remember what the hell the button was to drop. And then I'm just trying to get away from the 4 guys that are chasing after me. The only other thing is that I'm playing on max settings and I don't know what the hell is going on with the video in the game, but I feel like half the characters are from Jacob's Ladder doing like the weird ass head shake thing. And it's just, it's just weird and glitchy.
Jacob's Ladder. That's an old pull, Josh.
That's nice. That's a great movie though.
I know. No, it is. It is a great movie. It's a classic.
I figure since we talk about Silent Hill, Jacob's Ladder wouldn't be a weird.
Was it
weird
David
jump.
Lynch or something?
I don't think it was David Lynch.
No, it was somebody who likes crazy twisted films.
Who likes weird shit.
Yeah, it might have been, although I honestly don't remember. But yeah, so I can see myself finishing it. Just hate finishing it, just because it's not even hate.
No.
It's not even hate finishing it. It's like I know it's easy enough that I can do it, and I figure it won't take me that long. I just
self-hate finishing.
Yeah, there we go. Self-hate. I can see that happening. So yeah, but on the other hand, playing Assassin's Creed was also the worst possible time for me to be playing Assassin's Creed because one, Final Fantasy XII, the remaster came out, which I've been having a ton of fun with. And the other is while I was in Korea, I may have picked up a Switch.
That's the thing I was telling you that I Instagrammed.
Yeah, I know, and I was waiting to talk about it later.
Oh. It would have been more interesting if you were talking about it while you were talking about it.
Yeah. I know.
It's like, no, I bought absolutely nothing while in Korea.
I know
you kept souvenirs did you get?
I know you guys kept trying to get me to say it. I was waiting until later.
Stevo set you up. Yeah.
I know, you guys did it like 4 times. But I picked up a Switch. Funnily enough, I got to go to another goddamn country to find one. But I picked one up, and I downloaded Zelda and Mario Kart 8. And so during the downtime we had in the evenings back in Korea, if we weren't doing anything, we'd sit back and watch movies or things like that back in my brother's apartment. And I'd play some Switch and play some Zelda, and got a good amount into it. I've got the Master Sword. I haven't fought a single Divine Beast yet.
Wow, you haven't fought any of them?
No, I've been doing shrines. I've done about over half the shrines now. I've got like 63 or something like that.
You could just finish the game now.
I know. I like exploring, and I really want to find all the shrines. So I'm at the very least find all the shrines.
Yeah, I would have
recommended
checking out some of the Divine Beasts because the way that you have to approach them just to get started on them. You have to do side quests, and then the actual Divine Beast, the dungeons involved are so different from the rest of the game. You have missed out on a significant chunk of the variety.
I'm still gonna do them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've found like three of them so far. I have the quests to start them like in my log. I just haven't done them yet.
Yeah, and in fairness, one of the most enjoyable things about Zelda is just doing what you're doing, exploring, seeing how much you can find, seeing how many of the shrines you can find. But yeah, give those Divine Beasts a shot because you're gonna love them. They're so different.
I'm definitely having fun with it. And I mean, like I found all the towers, so I've opened up the entire map. I'm just enjoying running around for the most part. I finally figured out how to deflect Guardian blasts, so those are less of a pain in the ass now.
Yeah. Did you get the DLC yet? Did any of us get the DLC yet?
I picked it up and I've started on Master Mode. I actually played the game through on Wii U. So I picked it up on Switch as part of the bundle with the Switch.
Yeah.
So I figured I wouldn't start playing it on the Switch yet until the DLC came out. And then once it dropped, I started off on Master Mode. And I got to say, it is significantly more difficult. You're avoiding fights basically as much as possible for the first until I level up my hearts a bit. I'm not going to be able to, be causing aggro for a while yet. But
is Master Mode a new mode to start with, or could I continue my current file in Master Mode with the DLC?
I think if you've beaten Ganon, you can start a new game plus with Master Mode. You can't just switch on Master Mode and switch it off. So it does have to be, it basically creates a new save. So, and you're only allowed one save in Master Mode as well. Or maybe it's one manual save and one auto save, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really good idea.
It's one of each. It's one of each.
Try that.
Yeah. That was smart because definitely I had about 50 saves in my Wii U original playthrough.
So far though, I mean, I don't think I've really ever used having to go back more than one save, at least not intentionally. Yeah. So I mean,
I have a couple of times, but yeah, I mean, I didn't realize how you got hearts until after I finished the first Divine Beast,
which I don't understand because you have. Hearts. I swear you have to go to the goddamn Temple of Time and
to start off. Yeah,
yes.
I didn't have like you go to that first goddess statue but I didn't realize you could trade in spirit orbs for the hearts. I guess
you have to to do the first one.
Did you just do it for stamina at first and not realize you could do it for hearts, or?
Maybe I took a break and went on a trip or something and came back and just forgot.
Because you have to turn in the first one, you get your first upgrade, and then the dude floats down and says, "Hey, get up here," and then gives you the paraglider.
So were you just running around with a load of orbs and you didn't know what to do with them, Ellie?
Yeah, I had a ton of orbs and I had 3 hearts, and I finished the first Divine Beast and I started and I got to the boss of the second one. And I was like, this is just so. And after I finished the first one, I got a heart container. I'm like, this is how you get hearts. So I went to the second Divine and I just couldn't, the boss is fucking hard on 4 hearts.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I went and I traded in a whole shitload of spirit orbs when I figured it out and got, I had like 8 hearts by that point.
It is an excellent game, and we're going to have a proper discussion about it once you finish it, Josh. I would highly recommend you just let Assassin's Creed die and move on to Zelda. Or maybe we can find you something different in the old Backlog Roulette.
I'm sure you can. But back since we're still talking about the Switch, yesterday Stevo and I got a chance to partake in the Splatfest, which I guess was like a beta version of Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
They had 2 maps open, and you chose between the cake side and the ice cream side for world domination or something. And we both picked ice cream.
Obviously.
I did too.
Obviously.
I didn't play it though. Yeah, ice cream is obvious. Fuck cake. Fuck you, cake.
Should have been cake versus pie, but either way, it still would have been pie.
Do you know who won?
Ice cream did.
Ultimately? Yes, of course they fucking did. That's my team.
I would say I didn't have much bearing on that whatsoever.
Yeah,
I was not winning.
I was doing okay, and I didn't have I didn't have a Wii U, so I never played the original Splatoon, but it always looked kind of interesting. But I got the hang of it pretty quick, except I only played it on handheld because the wife was sleeping next to me. So I couldn't figure out how to use my special move because it just said R, and I couldn't make out that it was the R stick.
Oh, you click it in. Yeah.
And I kept pressing like R, and I'm like, that's my bomb or my grenade thing. Why is this not? I don't understand how does this work? How to work this? Once I figured that out, I just stuck with the default weapon. That one seemed the best.
Complete amateurs.
I didn't know there was any of this. Elliot, you should have been on playing with us. I did not know there was any special moves or any bombs.
I told you. Do the tutorial before.
I did the tutorial, so in fairness, I should have remembered the bombs.
Yeah, but the tutorial doesn't make you do those things. It just has a tool tip while you run through a...
Yeah, it doesn't show you the specials. So all I got to do is the tutorial, and then as soon as the Splatfest started, I had something to run and do that ended exactly when the Splatfest ended. But I did have Splatoon on the Wii U, and I played it religiously for several months. So I have an idea of...
Seems like it could be a lot of fun, and I like the idea of like you and your 3 teammates. You kind of just make like a little train of, because you run out of ink and you can't fire anything, so you got to go into your squid mode and get more ink. But like you just have you like run in a line, one guy's firing, and then once he runs out, the next guy runs up and keeps firing more ink, and then the first guy goes back and recharges. So I think there's some interesting team dynamics, and the whole having to refill your stuff is an interesting take on the reloading mechanic in games. So it's
And that's something that's really like, as I said, I played it a lot on Wii U, and I always played individually against randoms. So I wasn't chatting with them. I wasn't making strategies. We weren't cohesive in any way. But if we 3 of us could do what we do with Rocket League, where we, set things up over voice chat and really get into it, I think it could be so good. I mean, I loved it as it was just without playing with you guys, but if it comes out and we all have it, I think it could be fucking great.
That definitely gives me a bit more hope, because I was not blown away by playing it. But the idea that, because like Josh is naturally better at first person PvP than
everything,
or Elliot.
Video games,
games in general than me and Elliot are. So I would expect Josh would enjoy jumping into that beta more than I would. But Elliot, like, you actually played Splatoon consistently, and you think that you don't think it's going to be a case where we all pick it up and then never play it?
I don't think so. I mean, we kind of did that with Overwatch, where you played it for quite a bit, and
I really enjoyed it.
It's all a scheduling thing. Like, we haven't even played Rocket League in at least a couple of months here, like regularly, like we used to. But I mean, it was my go-to multiplayer when I wasn't playing Rocket League, and it's so fun, and it could be like addictive if we,
of course,
just chatted on it, not even like think too hard.
Yeah, we'd have to use Hangouts because Switch.
Of course.
Well, yes.
But maybe
that app should be out soon.
Yeah,
the multiplayer app should be out this month, or if it's already out. Anyway, I think the problem with Overwatch is, Stevo, like, to your credit, you're being very helpful trying to send us all these YouTube videos on how to play. But then I'm like, I don't want to watch all these YouTube videos on how to play a game in order to play a game. But the better you are, the more fun you have, of course.
Yeah.
But Splatoon just has that Rocket League kind of accessibility.
Practice makes perfect.
Okay, well, maybe you guys can convince me to pick it up. You can work on it between now and release date, so that I can get it cheap on Amazon.
And then Elliot and I will play, and then Steve will bitch the entire time that you guys are so much higher level than I am. Why are you?
Yeah, that's right. There's a level up system there. I'm gonna look up when it's out, because I think if it's not this week, it's before the end of the month for sure.
I mean, I probably won't pick it up on release, but it'll be something.
I don't think I will either.
Yeah. Mario Kart could basically just keep us entertained anyway.
Yeah.
But
and Rocket League.
Mario Kart is really good. I have to say, I'm really enjoying it. It's tough. People online are pretty good at it, but I think we all gotta get logged in and playing it together sometime real soon.
Yeah, I was getting 4th place in those matches, although those top 3 guys were, yeah.
This is typically
This is out on Friday.
This Friday?
This Friday.
Yeah, wow. So by the time this airs, it'll be out.
Oh, wow. Well, have fun if everybody picked it up.
Yeah. Enjoy.
In the meantime, we'll be busy playing other games.
Which we're about to find out what they are.
Oh, boy. All right. Backlog roulette time.
Backlog roulette time.
Actually, let's all give ourselves a pat in the back for once, having finished these games. Oh, no, wait. Josh didn't. How the tables have turned.
No. I basically finished it. If I just played it and did the exact same thing 2 more times, it's basically like there's basically 2 new game pluses after what I've done so far.
If you say that you're willing to put it down now, Josh, I'll give you a pat in the back. I'll be like, I'm proud of you.
I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction.
You're strange man playing games you don't like. Anyway, Backlog Roulette, lads. Who's up first? Josh?
Yep, I'm up
I think
first.
Josh is up first.
All right, so the Steam sale came out a little bit ago, and I never had a Sega Saturn, and there were a few games in there that actually looked pretty interesting to me. I do remember playing this game in like a Best Buy kiosk at one point, but now they have it on PC, so I figured I would give it a shot. So what I'd rather be playing is Nights into Dreams, which is a interesting little flying / platformer oddball game that was released for the Sega Saturn way back in the day.
Is it 2D or 3D?
It's 3D.
It's like fake 3D. It's
like 3D on the ground, because I know you walk around and it's full 3D, but you're on rails on the top. When you're flying, you're on rails, but it's 3D characters and things, but it's on a 2D plane while you're flying. Well, yeah, pseudo 2D, like it rotates and stuff, but you're still just flying.
Okay, Josh, I think you're gonna have to just Twitch stream this, and maybe I'll drop in at some point and try to understand what's going on.
Yeah,
it's a little interesting. So yeah, but yeah, Nights into Dreams.
No, I remember Nights. I remember when the Saturn came out, and I had a PlayStation, and I saw Nights, and it looked like just the most amazing, like free flying freedom. A freedom simulator is what it looked like to me. I always loved games where you could
freedom simulator.
A man who's been imprisoned his whole life.
Yes,
he can only dream. He's going to be able to experience freedom for the first time in this simulator.
And the freedom is Nights into Dreams.
Oh God!
No, like growing up, I was like, you play these platformers. You're like, I wish I could just fly and do whatever I wanted. At least I thought that as a kid, and being a fan of like Superman and superheroes and shit like that. And so I saw Nights, a game where that's all you fucking do. And I was like, why don't I have that system? I was really bummed that it was a Saturn exclusive. And I thought that game just looked absolutely amazing back in the day.
Well, I'll see if it holds up though.
Well.
Yeah, I'll see if it holds up.
I'm sure it hasn't. Yeah. I actually have it too. I might just try it.
All right. What you guys got for me, Elliot?
I picked for you, Josh, a very different game. Resident Evil 5, which I noticed was on your list. I hope it's not too long. I know we're trying to go shorter this week because we're gonna throw a wrench into this system, and we'll get to that in a minute. But
yeah,
Resident Evil 5 is a pretty quick game. It's not quite as good as 4, but it's still fun. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
There's an AI. You have an AI partner with you, or it could be a online co-op.
Right.
So I'd be happy to jump in with you.
Okay.
In and out.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Have you finished it, Steve?
Yeah, I played it through by myself as well. I enjoyed it. I hadn't played Resident Evil 4, and everyone was so down on Resident Evil 5.
It was the same with me. I hadn't played 4 when I played 5.
So I did enjoy it.
Great.
Yeah.
No, I've played 1 through 4, and so we'll see.
You might not like it, but you will enjoy it jumping in co-op. And as Elliot says, one of us could join you or the other one, and it might be a fun one to stream as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have that on PC or
me?
You know what you have that on?
PC.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, I've got it.
I might only have that on PS3.
Okay, we'll have to give that a shot if I roll it. That's still only 1 in 3 chance. So, Stevo.
Okay, guys. I'm gonna kind of ruin the surprise for Elliot because I'm gonna pick a game for you, and it's a little longer than what we were talking about. It's over 10 hours. But I think you'd both get a real kick out of it. I think you'd be able to play it through pretty quickly. and let me know if you can veto it if you like. I've got another one for Josh as well. But the first one I thought of for both of you was Wolfenstein: The New Order. How does that hit you?
Good choice. I almost picked that for myself, but did not.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll play it. The only thing about it is that I just got done with Doom relatively recently, so it's just another first person.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
that's the only reason I've been holding off, because I started playing Doom instead.
Yeah, so I'll play it. I do want to play it. I'm just.
So, Josh, what I will say, it's structured differently. It's got a fun story. I think it'll grab you immediately, and it feels so good to play. And the other thing about it is you level up certain perks by using certain weapons. So if you use dual weapons, you can level up quick reloading dual weapons or something like that. And if you level up grenades, if you kill enough people with grenades, you level up your grenades in a certain way. It's really fun. It keeps you hooked in ways like that. I think you'll both enjoy it. And you never know. If it doesn't hit for you, then I won't pick it for Elliot, because it would be more fun for all three of us to do it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Like I said, I'll play it. It's something I have wanted to play. So,
Can I just say I screwed this up, and I forgot that we were gonna try to do the same game for.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned that earlier, and I definitely did not do that. That wasn't the game I was thinking I could play for both of you. But
no worries.
Hopefully, Josh doesn't get it. And
all right. So I roll a 1, I get Nights into Dreams. If I roll a 2, I get Resident Evil 5, and if I roll a 3, I get Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Both of you get Wolfenstein: The New Order.
All right. A 3.
Oh, 3.
Okay.
Wolfenstein.
We're both getting Wolfenstein. Oh, although that means Elliot doesn't get a roll.
Yeah, Elliot's got a roll. I don't think we can do it the other way.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Do we want to do Wolfenstein or not? No? There's no use you playing it, Josh, if Elliot's not going to play it.
Oh no, I think that's fine. I might still play it. You can pick it for mine, and
if he might roll it again. You never know. Just
take the gamble.
We'll see. All right, Elliot, you're up. What I've got for you is
oh yeah, go ahead.
Is a nice game from back in the day. I think you'll like it. It's it's a little. Ugh. It's not terribly long, but it's a lot of fun. You get to you get to shoot things and jump and shoot some more things and get some new weapons.
But wait, you said you can jump? You
can jump, yes. It's a little game called Mega Man Legends.
Ha! That's an interesting choice.
What's Mega Man Legends on?
It's on PlayStation
PS1. Yeah.
Is that what you would play it on?
Yeah, I think that's the only place it is.
So you've got.
you played on.
Got the disc, and you played on
Vita.
I guess technically Mega Man 64 was also Mega Man Legends, but I think the PS port was better. So
it's on Vita.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I believe it's a PS1 PSN game.
Yeah, but have fun. I enjoyed it.
Nice, man. That's a good choice. Thanks. I was sure you were going to say Silent Hill, so I started groaning. The longer you went on, but,
I'll give you at least this one until I start bringing back the horror games.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. This is fun to.
This
is one I've been wanting to play.
Never say I never gave you anything. And Stevo, you picked a horror game for him, right? That he can roll. No, actually, Elliot, you're up.
Well, I would rather be playing The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap.
Oh, okay.
That's still one I've had for
that's still one I haven't
time.
Finished.
I've never even booted it up, but I've had it forever.
What is it?
It's a Game Boy. It's one of the Game Boy Zelda games, Game Boy Advance.
Is it 2D side scroll?
2D.
It's 2D. It looks like Link to the Past, and so it's one of the Capcom ones, right? Capcom developed, Nintendo published, handheld Zelda games, which have all been really well received, really critically acclaimed. But Minish Cap, compared to all the other ones, seems to fly under the radar more, and I even forget I have it.
Yeah, I've never heard the name before in my life.
I've played, I think, the first dungeon, or maybe the second dungeon too. That's about as far as I got. I think the reason I stopped was because I left my Game Boy in a rental car, so I never got it back.
Is it meant to be a long playthrough at least? How long do you expect it to take you?
It's a shorter one.
It's a shorter one. It doesn't have all 8 dungeons. It might only be 5 or 6, I think. and I don't know too much about it. Just basically what I've heard. But it was a 3DS ambassador game, so I can play it on that, which I'm looking forward to as well.
Bastard.
Yeah, it's legacy grandfathered into that still. Yeah, so that's mine. What do you got for me, Stevo?
I guess I'm going to stick with Wolfenstein, boring as it is. I think it would be more fun for all three of us to chat about it if all three of us have played it.
Well, Elliot never gets to pick his own game, so we'll see here.
That's right. He still hasn't.
Yeah.
I still haven't chosen anyone's game.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, Elliot, you roll a 1 and you get Mega Man Legends. You roll a 2, you get the Minish Cap. And if you roll a 3, you get Wolfenstein.
Here we go.
You know it's going to be 3. You know it's going to be. What is it?
It's 3. You got what you wanted.
Okay,
Steve.
lads.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're going to really enjoy it, though. And the levels are nice, bite-sized. You know, you'll be able to play one through and then leave it and play the next one the next night or something.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, man.
What have you got for me, Josh?
All right. So you mentioned in an earlier episode that you'd already played a little bit of this, and I am sad that you haven't finished it. It's kind of long, but not terribly long. It kind of just depends on how much you explore and things like that. So, but it's a lot of fun. And you mentioned that you were also looking forward to Prey coming up. So I thought this might be a good little intro to it. So System Shock 2.
Nice. I had it actually written down here. Remember when I said earlier I wasn't sure if you were going to pick one?
Yeah.
That I might have already thought of. It was one of the two that I had put down here that I was going to pick for myself.
Okay.
So I would happily take that one.
Okay. Elliot?
All right, so this is the game that I originally wanted both of you to play, but you didn't roll my spot anyway, Josh, so you wouldn't have got in it. But I'll give it to Steve
because you
anyway,
forgot, because you're an Egypt.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. And it's one we've talked about. I've talked about a few times on here before, and I think I need someone else to talk about it, even if it's just one of you. And that game is Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
It's a really quick one.
Nice.
It's just a couple of hours long. Coming off the Firewatch discussion 2 episodes ago, I think there's a lot of parallels you could draw.
Yep. I think I picked it up a couple of Steam sales ago as well. So, nice one. And I would rather be playing, although I was kind of thinking System Shock. Thanks again, Josh. I would rather be playing Bayonetta 2. So
you haven't played the first one, though.
I haven't played the first one, and I can see there's, I've given it away. I've played a couple of hours of this. So I finished Bastion, and I kind of jumped into Bayonetta 2. What I'm trying to do is, for the games that I have on Wii U and nothing else, the single-player games, I'm trying to get them knocked out and basically sell my Wii U or give it away to someone.
So you have the whole Wii library to go through. You've got Mario Galaxy, you've got
but those
Zelda, Skyward Sword.
Those are going to come out on the Switch, and I haven't bought them yet. So the
I
ones,
don't know about that.
Yeah, don't think they will.
The ones that I have on Wii U are like the other Zelda one, the Wind Waker, and Bayonetta 2, and I also had to play the Mario 3D World at some point. Not sure it's the kind of game that you can finish, but I'd like to get those knocked off. So Bayonetta 2 is one of those. It seems like it would be fun action, and it's only on the Wii U. So that's what I'd rather be playing.
All right, so Stevo, if you roll a 1, you'll get System Shock 2. If you roll a 2, you'll get Virginia, and if you roll a 3, you'll get Bayonetta 2.
I like these lads. Okay,
Yeah, you probably good choices, I think.
hit it. Steve-O rolled a 2.
A 2! Elliot picked a game!
I got one!
Elliot picked a game!
Congratulations!
I got one!
Great stuff.
Happy days, happy days.
We're so proud of you, Elliot. We knew you could do it.
Eventually.
The dice bot is not totally biased.
Okay, so I will be playing Virginia.
I'll be playing.
Oh, yeah, you will.
And then Elliot and I will both be playing the Wolfenstein: The New Order. Fun. So, okay.
Yeah. Very, very different games.
Yeah.
Very,
Is there
very
co-op? Can we just do
discussions.
co-op?
So
Is there?
We
I'd love that.
That
Probably
would be
not.
great, wouldn't it?
God damn it.
So
All right,
we
so-
were also
Oh, go ahead.
talking about
Yeah.
potentially picking a game that all three of us could play at the same time for the first time, or finish complete the first time. Sorry, I've lost my way here. We were potentially thinking about picking a game that we could all play through at the same time and complete, and then have a chat about it on the next episode. So we were looking at things which were hopefully a little shorter, and that might have a bit of a story, something that we could have a good conversation around.
Yeah, kind of like how Firewatch went. We thought we had a great discussion about that, and trying to see if we can replicate that.
So again, we
Build
might
it into the roulette.
as well try and make it interesting by rolling that dice.
Hell yeah.
Josh, what have you got for us?
So I've gone ahead and picked the Stanley Parable, which is almost in the spirit of it, in the sense that neither of you have played it. I've played it, but I would definitely play it again just because it's hilarious, and I will definitely I'll play it through again for you guys, because it's not a long game.
Yeah.
But it was a good jaunt for an hour or two.
Great. Yeah, I haven't played that one. I've got it though, and I've heard it's supposed to be pretty good. So I
And-
just don't know what to expect. I don't know anything about it.
That's perfectly fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
And the good
I'm-
thing
I'm
about
good,
it is
I'm good.
you would only have to invest a couple of hours in it as well. Isn't that right, Josh?
Yeah, it's not very long at all. You can get all pretty much, because it's a game you play more than once, because each specific ending maybe takes like 10 minutes at most.
Cool.
So it's
Oh.
you play through it several times to see how the various routes you take play out.
Cool.
Yeah.
For the group for this particular, I don't know what I'm saying. I picked. I picked Her Story,
Yeah.
which is it's another game I really don't know anything about,
It's like
but
a
I've got it on my
mystery or
backlog.
something, isn't it? Like you're
Yeah.
piecing together like these video evidence to figure out what the
Yeah.
actual story is or something.
It's got like live video footage and actors in it.
Yeah.
And
I believe
back to
the
FMV.
actress won best actor at the Game Awards the year it was
Oh,
released.
yeah?
I think so.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
wow.
She was meant to be really, really good in it. And it's meant to be, well, I guess again it's as many hours as you want to put into it, but you kind of have to figure out the story. So yeah, I'm intrigued by
Yeah.
it as well. I'm really interested in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then to round it out, again, lads, I hope I'm not just making your lives harder here. This this one is slightly longer, but it's meant to have an excellent story. Not just your average first-person shooter, first-person army shooter. Spec Ops: The Line.
Well, it's also third
Yeah.
person, I thought, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, you might be right. Yeah,
It is, yeah.
yeah.
But
Sorry.
I figure I'll just nail down a Saturday or something when I'm not doing anything, and I don't know.
Yeah. It's one
Yeah.
that I've been meaning to play for a while, and I've kind of started it and then got bored of it after a mission. But yeah, I think it would be worth all three of us playing it through and having a chat about it, and it could be the kind of motivation that I need to do that.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a really interesting premise, really good story
Yeah.
behind it. So I'm looking forward to that one too. Good choice. Good choice.
All
Okay,
right,
Josh,
so
you gonna
yep.
roll for us?
Yep. So if we roll a 1, we get the Stanley Parable. If we roll a 2, we get Her Story. If we roll a 3, we get Spec Ops: The Line. Here we go.
Well, if you got, woohoo, 3.
Spec
That's the
Ops.
line.
Lads, I'm hitting them all over the show today.
I know I didn't get
Yeah.
anything today. Damn. Oh well.
Wow.
The beginning of my
I
streak.
got one.
The beginning
I
of my
got
streak and the
one.
end of Elliot's.
So I guess I would recommend to you guys to play Spec Ops: The Line first, since it's a shorter one. But I guess whatever you like.
I still got to play Final Fantasy 12 more, so I'm going to be in the middle of everything. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some time, so
Guys, I got to be honest. I already forgot what game I got.
You got Wolfenstein.
you got Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
You and I are playing the
Man.
same game. And Steve-O's playing a game that takes 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Fucker.
sorry about this, guys. I'm gonna have a nice
Oh, geez,
relaxed
all
time
right.
between now and the next episode.
Lots of bullets. Yeah. Lots of bullets for us, Josh.
Yep. Lots of them. Oh, well.
All right. Should we wrap this on up?
I think so.
Yep.
All right. That's it for today. Between now and the next episode, you can reach us at ratherbcast.com, on Twitter at RBPcast, and we've got our own Twitter feeds as well that you can follow on our game playing exploits. At RBP Elliot, at RBP Josh, and at RBP Stevo. Any other ways to contact us, just go to the website. That pretty much sorts it all out. What are you guys going to be doing between now and then? Just playing these games pretty much? Or do you have any other trips coming up?
No, I'm actually finally going to be boring. Oh, I got to go to Charlotte for a work trip soon, but that's the week after next. But other than that, yeah.
You're going to Ireland, right, Stevo?
I have a couple of chilled out weekends and then heading to Ireland.
Afterwards. Okay.
Myself and Nisha heading over for my little sister's wedding, so it should be a great old time. And then doing a bit of a tour of Ireland, going to see the Cliffs of Moher and the Ring of Kerry, and doing all the touristy stuff that I should have done while I lived there, but somehow never got around to. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Nice. That's how it goes. All right. Sounds good to me, guys. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to play my video games and enjoy being back on my normal time zone.
Yes. It took me forever to get over the jet lag. Even though I did everything you're supposed to do when you get home, I was still exhausted for 3 days.
Yeah. It was just this perpetual exhaustion that's just kind of starting to lift here.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to sleep.
I can see it in your eyes, dude. You look tired. All right. That sounds good. We'll see you guys next week then. Don't forget to play your games because they're not going to play themselves.
All right, see you guys later.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.